You want to know why you practice guitar slowly, like everybody tells you to, but you're just not getting any better? That's because slow practice doesn't make you play better. In fact, slow practice, if you do it the way most people do it,
here it is slow.
it can actually slow down your progress and make you play worse. And today, I'm going to show you why. This is Mike Philippov, guitar practice expert from PracticeGuitarNow.com. And of course, this video is not for everybody. I'm not talking to the people who are improving every time they touch their guitar, who already know how to do slow practice the right way. I'm talking to you if the question I asked you rang true with you. And if that's you, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why slow practice hasn't worked for you like everybody promised that it would. And I'm gonna show you a different way to think about practicing that's gonna help you get more mileage out of your practice time. The first thing you gotta know about slow practice is that it is obviously a relative concept. You may think you're practicing slowly when someone tells you to practice slow, but you're not practicing anywhere near slowly enough.
Here it is slow.
For example, if you're working on your finger independence and you're trying to fix your pinky finger flying away from the strings or curling under the fretboard every time your ring finger or middle finger plays, and you're trying to do this with a metronome in 8th notes at 60 beats per minute, you're doing it wrong. You may think that's slow compared to a John Petrucci solo or whatever.
I was at 200. Let's say that was difficult. I'll go back down to about 170.
But it's not anywhere near slow enough. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen a guitar player play something way too fast, and I tell them to play at half the speed you're playing now. They say okay, and they continue playing at exactly the same speed they were playing before. So many people have no concept of what it means to even practice slowly. The second point, and this is probably the most important thing about practicing, is slow practice is not going to do a single thing to make you play better if you practice mindlessly. Think about it like this. Your guitar playing is like a building, and that building is on fire. That fire around the building are all the problems and challenges and frustrations you have in your playing. When you practice, each minute of your practice time is like a bucket. And your job is to carry as many buckets as you can to the burning building to put the fire out using sand or water. But if you practice mindlessly, it's like you're carrying empty buckets to the fire. And it doesn't matter how many minutes you practice, you can dump empty buckets on the fire all day long. It's not going to do anything to put the fire out or to make you play better. And the purpose of slow practice is to fill your mental practice buckets with water or sand, metaphorically speaking. And what that means is you've got to know exactly what is holding you back from playing the way you want, what you need to focus on to fix the problem, and how slowly exactly to practice to make the problem go away, so that you know if you're practicing too fast or too slow, and you can adjust your practice as you go along, and that is when slow practice begins to move the needle on your playing. Another reason why slow practice doesn't work for a lot of people and can actually make you play worse is because at slow speed it's very easy to use sloppy motions in your picking hand and your fretting hand and not even realize it. For example, if I play a scale like this, if you were paying attention, you would notice my pick was moving a lot, my fingers were moving a lot, but at slow speeds, I can get away with it. But if I start speeding up, I'm going to keep beating my head against the same speed ceiling and not know why or what I have to do to break through it. I'm going to keep slowing down and keep gradually increasing my speed like everybody tells me to, but nothing's going to change until I reprogram my technique. This goes back to the mindless practice I talked about a moment ago. It doesn't matter how slowly you practice. If you're not programming in the right technique, the right habits, you can practice slowly all day long, but then when it comes time to speeding things up or playing more advanced things, your limitations in your technique are still going to be there. To get more mileage out of your slow practice, you need to know exactly what good, efficient technique looks like that allows fast playing to happen, so you can program that technique, those motions, into your muscle memory, and then bring that perfection into the faster playing. But if you just keep doing what everybody does, which is ignore your technique altogether, or only look at the fretting hand, or look out in front of you, ignore the picking hand completely, like it's panhandling you for money or something, that's not going to get you anywhere. Another interesting thing about slow practice is that it's possible to practice too slowly, believe it or not. Yes, that's true. And the way this works is some of the mistakes that happen at your top speeds or near your top speeds disappear appear once you slow down enough. So if you keep practicing at very slow speeds, you may fool yourself into thinking you've improved and your problems went away. But once you start increasing your speed and you cross a certain tempo threshold, mistakes are going to come back. You're not going to know why they came back. You're not going to know what to do to fix them. All you're going to do is keep going back to slow tempos, trying to practice even slower to fix the mistakes, but you're just doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. What you need to do is find the threshold of speed where your mistakes are just starting to appear. That's the threshold where you need to practice to fix your mistakes. If you practice any slower, you're literally wasting your time because, like I said, the mistakes, you can't see them, you can't hear them, you can't feel them anymore, and that slow practice doesn't do you one lick of good. But if you find the threshold and you practice at that tempo to fix your mistakes and gradually close the gap, you will eventually be playing at your top speed without the mistakes, and by that point, your maximum speed will have shot up as well. If you want me to show you how to do this, how to find that threshold of control, how to practice once you do find it, and close that gap on your speed in less time without doing any slow practice, hit the link in the description of this video. I'm going to show you a 1-hour masterclass where I'll walk you through exactly how to do this step by step. So if you use this today, you can already be playing cleaner and faster by tomorrow. It's free. Check out the link in the description. But most importantly, remember that slow practice isn't the Genie's magical lamp that many people think that it is. It's not going to make you play better just because. It's all about what you're focused on, how you're focusing on it, and then making sure you're actually focusing consistently day in and day out on the right things. That is what's going to move the needle on your playing where you want it to go. If you like this video, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell so you're notified every time I upload new videos just like this for you. This is Mike Filipov, guitar practice expert from PracticeGuitarNow.com. I'll see you next time.